Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday. I'm sorry. Wow. Today's Thursday, September 2nd, and I messed up the day already this morning. Some of you may have seen yesterday, I put the wrong day on the Power Up yesterday as well. So I guess my days are just running together. So I apologize for that. And hopefully I get that straightened out. Want to just say we had a great time at church last night, and good to be in our classes and enjoyed those root beer floats. Those were amazing, and hopefully you did as well. Hopefully had a great day yesterday. Looking forward to another wonderful day today. It was a little chillier this morning when I first looked at the temperature. But it's warming up nice outside and look forward to a beautiful day. I want to encourage you along a couple lines here as we begin. As I came up to the church this morning, I saw to my right the M72 motel has apparently burned down. And I'm not sure of all of the details, but just be in prayer for those that may have been in there, the owners, super nice people. And want to encourage you to be in prayer for them. And I'm not sure if anybody was hurt or injured in it at all, but the M72 motel there, there's a lot of fire trucks and ambulance out there as well. So let's be in prayer for those and the safety of those that may have been involved there. And then also, don't forget, we've got our church-wide yard sale on Saturday. That begins at 8 o'clock and will go until about 2 o'clock. And so make sure that you have your stuff here. And we look forward. We're using it as a great opportunity to just get the gospel out. And so I would encourage you to be here. And we want to give out gospel tracts to those that would come by. So please come by, invite somebody to join you. On the church Facebook page, there's been some posts about it. Share it so the people that you're connected with can see what's going on here at the church. Also, Sunday is back to school Sunday, and we'll have survival packs for our young people. So please keep that in mind and look forward to getting those survival packs to our young people. There are some that have started already, and they might need a survival pack as they've kind of begun school and getting back into the swing of things. We got many who are starting this coming week. And we want to get them survival packs as well. So busy weekend. Hope you'll be here for both of those events. And then Sunday night, we're going to gather around the Lord's table. We're going to have a night of testimony, a night of taking some favorite songs and worshiping the Lord together, have some special music as well. And I hope you'll be here for that very special service. Just a time to gather as a family and celebrate our Lord and what he's doing in our lives. So those of you who are watching, you've been put on notice now. And so be thinking of maybe an encouraging word that you could share with our church family here of what God is doing in your life. And so I would encourage you along those lines. Okay. All right. Spend enough time with intros there. Almost 4 minutes in. Sorry about that. Let's look and see what God has for us this morning. Psalm 137. So 137 is a psalm that was written probably during the Babylonian captivity as Israelites have been taken captive and taken to Babylon. And so that's probably what's going on here. It may have been written following the captivity, but probably more than likely during this captivity. So let's look at it here and really let's see the Israelites' response to this captivity. Verse number 1, Psalm 137, verse number 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they had carried us away captive, required of us a song. And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? We see the heartbreak that the Israelites had experienced by being taken to Babylon, by being taken from the place that they love. And we see this heartbreak. They wept when they remembered Zion and the songs of Zion and their captors, and how they had taken everything and really taken their desire to probably even live as they've taken them from Zion. And we see just the sadness here. And then we see also, look at verse number 5. We kind of see this cry during this captivity here of and they're longing for Zion. But look at verse number 5. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, if I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. And so we see this desire and if you will, this promise or this vow of the captors, the Israelites. God, we do not want to forget Jerusalem, the land which we have been taken from, and we vow and promise not to forget it. Verse number 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And speaking of destroying the city, and it says in verse number 8, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone. And so we see this prayer for judgment, this prayer for defeat of Babylon, and really this call for Babylon to be treated by the Lord in the same way that the Babylonians had treated the Israelites, and this call for judgment. Now, as we read this, we might think, okay, what does this have to do with us? And I just want to maybe just get us to think a bit. And we read about the sadness that's going on here, the desire to not forget Zion and Jerusalem and what God has done for the children of Israel, and then this desire for judgment upon their captors. Let me just make just a few comments here to kind of personalize it for us a little bit. As we read often in the Old Testament here, we read of Israel, and oftentimes the reason for Israel going into captivity and God allowing these individuals to overcome, or not to overcome, but to take captive the Israelites, is because the Israelites had left the Lord. Most times they had gone against the Lord, they had worshiped other gods, and they began to live a life that was not honoring and glorifying to the Lord. And so the reason oftentimes for the Israelites to go into captivity is because they had left the Lord. They had followed other gods. They had fallen into sin. And it was then that the Israelites, it was when their captors had come, when they had been defeated, that then the Israelites would oftentimes realize the error of their way. And they would realize that they had sinned. And then there was this desire to go back to Jerusalem. There's this desire to go back to the Lord, and there was this repentant heart oftentimes. And the Israelites would desire to go back to their homeland. They would desire to have that relationship with the Lord rekindled. And then we see this desire for freedom and to be released from their captives, and we see the judgment that is desired by the psalmist here. And I want us to just think about it in terms of our own life here. In our lives, sometimes we bring into our life difficulties that are really the result of sin. And we would say, God, oftentimes, God, how can you allow this heartache into my life when it's the sin and the consequences of that sin is the reason for the situation that we find ourselves in? And so I want to encourage you along these lines. let's not be too shocked when we're suffering the consequences of sin. And when we wake up from our sin and realize how far we have come because of our sin, let's not turn our back on the Lord, but rather let's come back to the Lord with that repentive spirit. And let's not get upset at God because we have sinned and because we're suffering because of our sin. But let's go back and let's look back at the times in our life when the Lord was blessing and when, if you will, when times were good because we were following the Lord. And let's have that desire to come back to the Lord. Let's not give up on God. Let's not give up on our relationship with God, but let's desire to draw nigh to him and live for him. The consequences of sin are ugly. The consequences of sin are so bad. Let's refrain from sin so that we don't have to suffer those consequences. And then let's not blame God for some of the situations we find ourselves in because of our sin. I hope kind of get what I'm trying to get across here, kind of jumping around a little bit, but let's be a people that draws nigh to the Lord, that remains faithful to the Lord, so that we don't have to suffer the consequences that follow sin, is really what we're saying. For the children of Israel, oftentimes in their history, if they would have just remained faithful, things would have been different. Things would have been much better. Oh, there might have been some difficult days, but they had the Lord, as we do as well. And so I'll leave you with those thoughts for the day here from Psalm 137. Trust that it was a blessing and an encouragement to you. Let's give a few shout outs here. I hope you all have a good day. But Brian and Cindy, good morning to you. Have a wonderful day. Ingrid, thank you for being on. Once again, love you. Carol, Phil and Carol, good morning. And Cliff and Karen, good morning to you. And Mom, good morning and greetings to Cleveland, Ohio. And hope you're having a good trip. Angie, good morning to you, and have a great day. And my prayer as well, each day be thankful for God, for his love, for his mercy, what he's done for us. Great thoughts there to always be thankful. Hey, and beginning every morning, just kind of reviewing what God has done for us and having that spirit of thankfulness is so very important. David, good morning to you. Have a wonderful day. And I'm so thankful, Cliff and Karen, I am so thankful as well for that forgiving God. You look at the history of Israel, God forgave Israel time and time and time and time again. And I'm thankful that he forgives us as well. Well, Lord bless you all. Be sure, remember the events coming up. Hope you be a part of that. And look forward to reaching out into our community and, Lord willing, giving the gospel out and invitations to church out this coming weekend. So be in prayer for that. Be a part of it and then be in prayer for it. All right. Lord bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully it's not too cold where you're at this morning. It'll warm up later in the day. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.